Hi, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I'm going to be introducing my newest set from Gina K Designs, releasing August 28th, this Thursday, Fabulous Frame Fillers. Now, Fabulous Frame has been my fastest selling stamp set of all time for Gina K Designs. It has this wonderful frame, plus year-round greetings that you can use and a few images that are just so nice for any occasion. But I really wanted to pump this up and give y'all even more options that you can use to customize this frame, but also just to use on their own. They're great two-step stamping elements. I want to walk you through this set, but I just want to show you, here is a frame that I have stamped on some cardstock and added the butterfly from that set, colored in the border, and you can watch my other videos for how I did that. But then with this new set, Fabulous Frame Fillers, you can take it to this. So all those different little details that you can add or change just to customize any way you want. You might not want to have your frame have this much detail. You can stop at any point, but I was just really enjoying playing with the different elements and using as many as I could on the card. So today, let me first walk you through this set. The way that I'm going to do that is by taking the image sheet from the Fabulous Frame and just laying it over the images in Fabulous Frame Fillers, excuse me. So, first of all, you see you have a dashed and a dotted oval that will fit so nicely inside and just really dress up those ovals as if they are die cut with a detail. Also, these little borders, and you can use these on any of your A2 size cards on their own, but look how nicely that is going to go at the bottom and top, just right inside of that frame. So first of all, we have a dotted border for a nice pierced look. We've got a dashed border if you want a faux stitch look. Scallops, which are always really beautiful on feminine cards, and these can be turned so the scallops are facing up or down. Now let's move on to these borders that are custom fit to go around this oval. This is really going to dress it up. So we've got, again, those same borders, the scallop, and you can space these out so that it looks like you have another layer in between. And then again, that dash border, the dotted border, and finally this hand-drawn lace border, and this is going to be something really fun to use. Next, I have these little semicircles that are going to fit the top and bottom of your oval, whether you're using it portrait style or landscape style, and that's just going to make that look more like a label when you have that on the top or the bottom. If you have something that's a little bit more square, you really want to accent a sentiment. Or maybe if you have a longer greeting and you want to put that in the middle here. Next, we have these belly band fillers that are going to fit both sides, and I've included 4 different ones in the set, and they will go on the left and the right. So again, to match these borders, you have dots, dashes, lines, and then finally that lace and flowers. Got a little thanks in here, a 2-step stamped line to add into this belly band, and finally just lots of little individual elements, floral corners, part of the lace that you can make your own lace borders, and then this hand-drawn scroll that's going to go right around that oval frame. Just so many possibilities. I am so excited about this set. I can't stand it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The tools and products that you will need for this card are the Gina K Pure Luxury Honey Mustard. So I have already stamped my frame on here with the Gina K Chocolate Brown. I'm also going to be using some white cardstock, and this is cut at 4 inches by 10 3/4, just scored right in half. The reason I did that is when you are coloring in your borders with your markers, it will go through the colored cardstock. It does not on the heavyweight white, but just a tip. So you would either want to layer this frame onto another piece of cardstock, or you're going to want to line it. And you can cut these in half and separate it, but when I'm doing my lining, if I want to do the top and bottom, I usually just score it right in the middle, and then that's just going to adhere right in there, and then I have a nice space for my writing and if I want to do more stamping. You'll also need a little scrap for that butterfly. A few different blocks. You can use a long block with a line on it to help you line up those straight stamps. But if you don't have a long block, a 4-inch block will work for that size, going all the way across, and you can just put it right across that line. Then some smaller blocks for your smaller images. I'm going to be using some scissors to cut out that butterfly and just a little bit of adhesive foam. And then finally, I've got some markers here. These are the Spectrum Noir. I've got the EB2, EB3, and EB4, and these are just some nice autumnal shades. Really excited about making some fall cards, and that honey mustard cardstock was the first color that I pulled out of the new Stamp TV kit assortment. You're going to love that, and you will be seeing that on Thursday when it's also available for purchase. I colored in this border with the EB3. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And I might just go ahead and use some different borders on this just to change up the look a little bit. But you always want to start with your larger elements first. So you can fill this in as much or as little as you want to, but I always want to start with the biggest elements and then work my way down to the smaller ones. So let me go ahead and remove that so I don't get any ink on the butterfly. I'm going to go ahead and pull off one of these stamps. Go ahead and I think use the dashed one this time, and just lay that right on here. Now, one tip you might have seen before from Gina, to go ahead and put that border so that it's laying flat and then place it on your block, and that way you don't have it wiggling on you. It's going to be straighter, but if you need to make any adjustments, you can also just lay it right on that line. And this one I just had a harder time having it lay flat just because the dashes are so skinny. It's a little bit easier with the lace. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp this on the bottom. And then the top. Okay, and this is great for masculine cards. Now let's go ahead and do the matching curved border. So this one, because it's got a little bit different shape, see how that one's easy to lay there. And then you just line it up. Okay, and we'll ink this up. Pardon my head if I get in the way. Okay, so around it like that. Already that's just added so much. I love it. All right, now let's go ahead and add one of these fillers. And I think this time I'm going to use the floral filler. So this one has just that little lace design with the leaves. And this is just going to pop right in, excuse me for a second. And on the other side. Okay. And if you have any kind of staining that makes it difficult possibly to see through your stamp and you don't get the entire edge, you can just fill into that border like that, and that will deepen. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and add the dashed oval. And you can switch these out. It doesn't have to be so matchy-matchy that it's all dashes or all dots. Right in the center. Okay. Now let's go ahead and use a smaller stamp and start building in some of this design. So let's go ahead and use these large floral corners here on the bottom. And if you like two-step stamping or adding little stamped embellishments, you are just going to love all the different pieces in this set. And let's go ahead and put one right here. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and use this small corner and put it up here. Isn't that fun? Okay, now I've got some open leaves that match. So I'm going to go ahead and add those here. And I'm just making this up as I go along because I just wanted something to be a little bit different than my original card, but very similar still. It just shows you more possibilities, how fancy you can go. Okay, and then the reason I brought out these markers, you're going to tie this in with the butterfly, but this EB2, just going to fill this in, and it's just going to make it look a little more dimensional. And if you want to add some color to those little borders inside, but see how the border just disappeared as the marker filled in those areas. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there, but you could keep going, adding the scroll around it or adding more leaves and flowers. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my thanks. So this is the same font and size as the greetings in the first set. So thanks is nice to have for Thanksgiving coming up. And then I'm going to stamp this butterfly. And this is just helping me see where to place it after I put my cut butterfly on. Okay. Now let's go ahead and we'll stamp this on some of the white cardstock. And we'll quickly color it in. Oh, let me do that on the back because I had my card underneath it. You want to make sure that you have a flat surface when you are stamping. Just trying to keep everything in the frame there. So let's start with my lightest color. I'm just going to fill some of this in with the EB2, and I will post corresponding Copic colors at the bottom. Then I'm going to take this EB3 and do a little bit of tip-to-tip coloring here in the center and then around these edges where I want it darker. And then finally, I'll use that EB4 to add just a little bit more rust to make it pop. And then we will cut it out and we will be finished. Okay, so let's cut this out quickly. Using a super tiny pair of scissors today that my friend Carolyn King gave me. So this might be a good option for you if you find it hard to cut into small areas. These little tiny scissors. Somebody walked off with my paper snip scissors in the family. I won't say who because I don't know, but I'm sure I will track them down in a few days. So you always have to have a lot of different scissors on your crafting table in case that happens. Okay, let me just get that last little part right there. So I'm going to fold that up in the middle and then bend the wings out. Then just take just a little scrap of this right there in the middle and then pop that right on. Isn't that pretty? And then we'll go ahead and just put a little bit of adhesive in here. And you might as well go ahead and add a few more stamps to the inside just to decorate that. I always do. And then you're going to lay that just right on the center line. Fold it up. See how quick that was? So two different versions using some of the different elements. Again, I just can't tell you how much you need this set if you have the fabulous frame, and I know so many of you do from our past sales and all the great comments that I've gotten. I hope you enjoyed this set. Look forward to more videos featuring this. I also want to show you, though, quickly how you can use this without even using the frame. So on this card, I used some of those little belly bands, created an oval with that dashed one, and then use just some of the dash borders to make this really clean and simple thank you card. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, for more information, more inspiration, and more videos. Again, the set Fabulous Frame Fillers comes out this Thursday, August 28th. Make sure that you grab your copy because we sold out very quickly last time. Thanks for watching.